So, have you ever landed on a website, maybe just needing one specific thing, and you just find yourself completely tangled up?
Oh, all the time. Confusing menus, technical terms nobody uses.
Yeah, and search results that seem, I don't know, totally random.
Exactly. It's like you know the information's in there somewhere, but you just can't get to it.
It feels like you're locked out. Super frustrating.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you feel like maybe the digital world wasn't really built with you in mind.
And, that feeling, it's way more common than a lot of organizations probably think. It really shows up a basic problem. Digital stuff isn't always designed for everyone.
Right. Which is why for this deep dive, it tackles this exact issue.
Ah, the one about conversational AI search.
That's the one. It explores how this tech might not just be, a fancy new gadget, but something that could actually fundamentally change things.
Make websites genuinely accessible, support inclusive design properly.
Exactly. So our mission today is really to unpack that article. We want to get clear on what conversational AI search actually is in this context.
Why it's so important for accessibility, especially right now.
Yeah, and the specific ways it can help different users, and also what results organizations might actually see.
And about that right now point, the article flags something pretty important, doesn't it? These new accessibility standards.
Oh yeah, in Europe and the US, they're shifting from just being guidelines to being actual legal requirements.
With penalties if you don't comply. So accessibility isn't just a nice to have anymore.
It's becoming essential, a must-do.
So basically, this deep dive is your shortcut. It's to help you get up to speed on this tech, why it's becoming so critical, and how it's kind of reshaping digital interaction for, well, everyone.
Okay, let's get into it then. Why is accessibility such a focus? It's not just about helping a small group, is it?
No, not at all. Good digital accessibility makes the experience better for every single person.
Yeah.
Think about it. It doesn't matter about your ability, your age, where you're from, or even just, if you're stressed or distracted that day.
Or trying to use your phone on a shaky bus, maybe.
Exactly. Building for accessibility ends up creating something that's just easier for everyone to use.
And the way website search works now,
Mm-hmm.
the article is pretty blunt about how it creates problems.
Oh, definitely. That complex navigation we mentioned, the jargon, getting pages and pages of results you have to sift through.
It's overwhelming.
Totally. It's like asking for directions and getting handed a massive detailed map instead of just turn left at the next corner.
Yeah. And the source is clear on who this hits hardest, right?
Yes. People with disabilities, older adults, definitely non-native speakers. But honestly, anyone who's feeling pressured or just doesn't know the site's layout.
And the result for the organization? Lost customers, maybe failing to provide essential services.
Yeah, or just pushing parts of their community away. It's not good.
Okay, so enter conversational AI search. This is a real shift away from just typing keywords.
It's described as a pretty fundamental change, yeah. Instead of you needing to guess the magic words the website understands.
Or click through endless menus.
Right. You just ask a question, naturally, like you talk to a person.
Okay, so instead of me typing like financial assistance eligibility criteria, I can just ask, how do I get help paying my bills?
Precisely. And the system is built to understand that kind of normal language.
Yeah.
And then it gives you a direct, clear answer, pulled from the organization's own stuff, not just web pages, but documents, PDFs too.
And you can ask follow-up questions, like have a mini conversation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You can refine the answer, ask for more detail, have a proper back and forth.
Wow, okay, that sounds worlds away from just getting a list of links to click.
It is. It's a move from just finding potential places the answer might be to actually getting an instant AI-generated answer.
Based on content the organization controls, so it's secure and accurate.
Correct. It's kind of like having that helpful ChatGPT experience, but safely inside the website, using only the approved information.
So it cuts through all the complexity, gets you straight to the point.
Pretty much. You don't need to be an expert on their website structure or their internal language. It just works efficiently.
Okay, that big picture makes a lot of sense. Now, listing 5 specific ways this tech actually boosts accessibility. What's the first one?
The first is language simplification and comprehension support. And this is really interesting. It kind of flips the usual situation.
How so?
Well, instead of you, the user, having to learn the organization's specific jargon.
All those technical terms are internal acronyms.
Right. The AI understands your everyday language, your natural question.
Like my example before. How do I get help with payments? Instead of searching their official term. The AI does a translation.
Exactly. It bridges that gap. And crucially, it can then tailor the answer it gives back.
Tailor it.
Yeah, adjust the complexity or phrasing. This is huge for non-native speakers, people with different reading levels, or, anyone new to the topic.
That makes sense. Okay, what's number 2?
Reduced cognitive load. I quite like that term because traditional search, this is a lot of mental work, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You search, you scan the result, you click a link, scan that page, maybe go back, try again. It's exhausting sometimes.
It really is. And for users with cognitive disabilities or maybe learning differences or even attention challenges like ADHD, that whole multi-step process can be a real barrier.
So the conversational AI, by giving a direct answer,
It just cuts out all that friction, that mental juggling.
it seems like it makes the whole interaction more straightforward. Linear, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You ask, you get an answer, maybe ask a follow-up. It's much simpler than trying to navigate these really dense web pages with links and ads and everything else competing for your attention. It actually makes it faster and less annoying for everyone. It's a win-win. Efficiency through accessibility.
Okay, good point. Number 3 is about alternative interaction methods. This sounds like it's about the physical side of using a website.
Exactly. The article emphasizes flexibility here. A good conversational AI tool shouldn't only work if you can type.
Right. So what else?
Support for voice to text. Think about how important that is for someone with a mobility impairment who finds typing difficult or impossible.
Huge difference. What else?
Keyboard navigation, essential for people who don't use a mouse or trackpad. And, of course, screen reader compatibility for users with visual impairments.
So it's about offering choices. You're not stuck if you can't use one particular method.
Precisely. You can use your voice, the keyboard, your screen reader, whatever works best for you. It accommodates different physical needs and even learning styles, really.
Makes sense. Multiple paths to the same information. What's number 4? Personalized responses.
This highlights the AI's ability to adapt. It's not just like reading a static FAQ page.
How does it adapt?
It can offer follow-up info based on what you've already asked, or even change how complex its answers are.
Oh, okay. So if I ask about something complicated and the first answer doesn't quite click, I can ask it to explain differently.
Yes, or ask for more context, and it should patiently rephrase or elaborate.
That patient, consistent help could be really valuable.
Incredibly, especially for users who might need a bit more time or different ways of explaining things to really understand. And, for some people, interacting with a helpful AI might feel less stressful than calling a help desk and maybe having to explain things over and over.
That's a really interesting point. Okay, number 5. Navigational assistance without structural knowledge. This feels like a big one for anyone who's ever felt totally lost on a big, complicated website.
Oh, absolutely. It means you don't have to understand the sitemap or figure out which department looks after which piece of information.
You just bypass all that website architecture stuff.
Pretty much. You just say what you need or ask your question in plain English. The AI focuses on your intent, not just matching keywords.
And it finds the answer or the right page, even if it's buried somewhere obscure.
That's the idea. It guides you directly there. So you don't need to guess if info about, say, applying for a permit is under services or forms or business resources.
You just ask, how do I apply for a building permit?
And boom, the system connects you. It takes away that whole frustrating guessing game about how the website is organized. Your question becomes the navigation tool.
Those 5 points together really paint a clear picture of how this could break down barriers. Also benefits for the organizations putting this in place. There are tangible outcomes.
Oh, for sure. Several key positive results. First off, improved customer satisfaction and loyalty. Makes sense, right? If all your users have a smooth, easy experience.
They're happier, they're more likely to come back or use the service again.
Exactly. And following from that, higher conversion rates. If it's easier to find out about a product or apply for something.
More people will actually manage to do it. Less drop-off.
Right. Which leads to increased reach and engagement too. You're connecting with people who maybe couldn't effectively use your site before.
And then there's the cost-saving aspect, reduced support costs.
Yeah, that's often a big driver. If people can get answers to common questions from the AI, they're not calling the helpline or emailing support quite as much.
Freeing up human agents for the really tricky stuff.
Exactly. The things that need empathy and complex problem solving. Also, the value of data insights.
How so?
Well, Analyzing the questions people ask the AI, especially the ones it struggles with, gives organizations amazing feedback on where their content has gaps or where the website itself is still confusing.
Ah, so the user questions actually help improve things over time, like a continuous feedback loop.
Precisely. And finally, the importance of reliable, scalable performance.
Okay, lots of potential benefits.